Have you ever noticed that the more you say yes to a man, the more available you are, the more accommodating you become, and the more you rearrange your life to fit his, the faster he seems to pull away? It is one of the most frustrating and painful patterns in modern dating. You think you're being the perfect partner by being easygoing, but instead of drawing him closer, you are accidentally killing the very tension that makes him crave you in the first place. Today, we are talking about the boundary paradox. I'm going to show you why saying no, when done correctly, is actually the most magnetic thing you can do for your relationship. By the end of this video, you will understand the psychological shift that turns a no into an invitation for him to pursue you harder. And I'm going to give you the exact phrases to use so you don't sound cold or mean, but rather absolutely irresistible. I'm Lena, and if you've been feeling taken for granted lately, this is the wake-up call your love life needs. Let's start with a hard truth that many of us were never taught. Most of us grew up believing that being high value meant being low maintenance. We thought that if we never caused a problem, if we were always down for whatever plan he had, and if we always answered the phone on the first ring, he would eventually realize how great we are and commit forever. But here is what is actually happening in a man's brain: psychological scarcity. Humans are biologically wired to value what is limited. When your time, your energy, and your yes are infinite, they become cheap in his eyes. Think about the difference between a diamond and a pebble on the beach. Why is the diamond worth a fortune while the pebble is stepped on? Because there are fewer diamonds. When you say yes to a last-minute date at 9 p.m. when you have a big presentation the next morning, you aren't showing him you're chill. You're showing him that your own needs and your own schedule are secondary to his smallest whim. The paradox is this: a man cannot truly love or desire a woman who doesn't respect herself enough to say no. Without respect, there is no long-term attraction. There is only convenience. And let me tell you, nobody ever wrote a poem or started a lifelong romance for someone they just found convenient. So, how does saying no actually create attraction? It's built on 3 psychological pillars. The first is the pillar of autonomy. When you say no to a plan or a behavior, you are signaling that you are a complete, whole individual with your own world. You aren't just an extension of his life or a character in his movie. This reminds him that he hasn't won you completely yet. He still has to earn your time. The second pillar is mystery. If he knows you'll always say yes, there's no mystery left to solve. But if you say, "I'd love to see you, but I have plans tonight," his mind starts to wander. He starts wondering what those plans are, who you're with, and why he isn't the center of your universe for those few hours. That mental space he occupies while thinking about you is exactly where the crush feeling grows. The third pillar is emotional safety. This is the most counterintuitive one. A man actually feels safer with a woman who has boundaries. Why? Because he knows that if she says yes, she actually means it. He doesn't have to worry about you building up secret resentment or exploding later because you're doing things you don't want to do. Now, I want to address the biggest fear most women have. You're probably thinking, "Lena, if I start saying no, he'll think I'm a diva or a drama queen." But there is a massive difference between a wall and a boundary. A wall is designed to keep people out. It's cold, defensive, and usually comes from a place of anger. A boundary is a gate. It shows people where the entrance is. It's warm, but it's firm. It's not an attack on him. It's a statement about your standards. When you set a boundary with warmth, it challenges him to rise to your level. High-quality men are actually attracted to this challenge. It signals that you are a woman of high value, who won't just settle for low-effort treatment. Let's get into some practical scripts you can use right now. Imagine he texts you at 8 p.m. on a Friday asking to hang out. The old version of you might have dropped everything. The version of you that understands the boundary paradox says, "I'd love to see you, but I'm actually already in for the night. I'd be up for doing something earlier in the week if you want to plan ahead." Do you hear the magic in that? You validated the connection, you were kind, but you prioritized your own comfort. You also subtly taught him that your time requires a plan. What about when things are moving physically faster than you're comfortable with? Instead of just going along with it and feeling disconnected later, you can say, "I'm really enjoying this and I'm so attracted to you, but I want to slow things down a bit. I'm the kind of woman who likes to really know someone first. Is that cool with you?" This is a massive attraction builder. You are showing him that you have a user manual for your heart. A man who wants a future with you will respect this deeply. A man who only wanted a fast win will leave, and honestly, that is a win for you because it saves you months of heartache. Another common scenario is the disappearing act. He hasn't texted in days, and then sends a low-effort, "Hey, what's up?" message. Instead of rewarding that silence with instant availability, you can say, "Hey, to be honest, I'm the kind of person who values consistent communication when I'm getting to know someone. I noticed things went a bit quiet. Are we on the same page about that?" This shows him you are vetting him. You are showing him that you aren't just waiting around for his breadcrumbs. When you start implementing the boundary paradox, something amazing happens. The wrong guys, the ones looking for an easy ego boost, will disappear. They don't want to put in the work. But the right guy, he will suddenly lean in. He will start asking for your time days in advance. He will start checking in more often. Because he finally understands that you are a prize to be won, not a given to be ignored. You have to remember that you cannot be truly loved if you cannot be truly known. And he can't truly know you if you never tell him where your no is. Setting these boundaries might feel scary at first. Your heart might race the first time you tell a man you can't make it to a last-minute invite. But I promise you, the more you practice, the more you will see your own value reflected back to you in his eyes. You are teaching people how to treat you. If you treat your time like it's worthless, he will too. If you treat your energy like it's a precious resource, he will treat it like gold. If this resonated with you, I want you to take a second and think about one area in your relationship or your dating life where you've been saying yes when you really wanted to say no. Start small. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just one boundary can change the entire dynamic of how a man views you. It turns you from someone who is always there to someone who is worth being there for. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you found this helpful, make sure to show this video some love so the algorithm knows to share it with other women who need to hear this message. And if you want to know what to do next, like how to handle it when a man actually pulls back after you set a boundary, make sure to check out my other videos on the channel. I'm Lena, and I believe you deserve a love that respects your boundaries and cherishes your yes. I'll see you in the next one.